Hello students, Standard 6, Chapter 5, the understanding elementary shapes. In the last session we learned about different types of quadrilaterals like a rectangle, a square, parallelogram, a rhombus and a trapezium, and also learn the special characteristics about them. Now we are going to start the exercise 5.7. Question 1 is say true or false. Say true or false. So now let's take one by one sentence and discuss, and we will write down the answers. First one is each angle of a rectangle is a right angle. Now we know that rectangle, in that all the angles are right angles. So the statement is true. So you can say that it is true. Second, the opposite sides of a rectangle. The opposite sides of a rectangle are equal in length. Are equal in length. So we know that in the rectangle the opposite sides are parallel also and equal also. So it is also a true statement. C. The diagonals of a square are perpendicular to one another. Are perpendicular to one another. We learn in the different quadrilateral that diagonals of square and rhombus, they are perpendicular to each other. So this third statement is also true. Fourth statement, all the sides of a rhombus, are of equal length. And that is also true because we learn about the rhombus, that it's all the sides are equal. So it is a true statement. Statement E, all the sides of a parallelogram, all the sides of a parallelogram are of equal length. Are of equal length. Now we learn that in a parallelogram, only opposite sides are equal, not all the sides. So here that is the false statement. The last F. The opposite sides of a trapezium. The opposite sides of a trapezium are parallel. Now we learn that trapezium. In trapezium, only one pair of opposite sides is parallel, not the both. So we can't say that the opposite sides are parallel because one of them is parallel. If both are parallel, you can say true. But here it is false because not both pair. Now question number 2. In question 2, we are given some statements and we have to give the reason for the following. Give reason for the following. The special type of statements are given in which the different type of quadrilaterals are related with each other. Then why it is so, we have to tell about it. First, a square can be thought of as a square can be thought of as a special rectangle, as a special rectangle. Now you understand. Look here, this is a rectangle, that is a square. Now in rectangle only opposite sides are equal. What is common in both of them is that all the right angles are there. So if we consider a rectangle such that all the sides are equal, then what does it become? It becomes a square. So it is thought of as a special type of rectangle. So we write down, because a rectangle, because if a rectangle has all sides equal, it becomes a square. Second, a rectangle can be thought of as a rectangle can be thought of as a special parallelogram. A special parallelogram. Look, that is parallelogram, that is rectangle. In parallelogram also opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are equal, both of them. Only what is difference? In rectangle all the angles are 90 degrees. It means in a parallelogram also if you make all the angles right angle, then it becomes a rectangle. So here we can write down, because if all the angles of a parallelogram are right angles, it becomes a rectangle. See, a square can be thought of. A square can be thought of as a spatial rhombus. A spatial rhombus. Now we know that rhombus have all sides are equal, square also have all sides equal. Only the difference is the angles. If we take all angles of the rhombus right angle, then it will become a square. So because if all the angles of a rhombus are right angles, it becomes a square. D. Squares, rectangles, squares, rectangles, parallelograms are all quadrilaterals. Now we know that squares, rectangles and parallelogram, they are having four sides. This polygon with four sides, so they are quadrilateral. So you can write down, because all of the above figures are polygons having four sides. And last, E. Square is also a parallelogram. Square is also a parallelogram. We know that in a square also the opposite sides are parallel. Both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So you can write that, because in square opposite sides are parallel, therefore it is known as, it is also a parallelogram. Now we are familiar with the word polygon. Polygon means the simple closed curve made up of only line segments, that we learned already. So also we learn about the polygon having three sides, which is known as triangle, and polygon having four sides, that quadrilateral. We already learned about this two things. But now we have to extend our idea of the polygons, because there will be more number of sides. So we cannot have to stop after the 4 sides. And according to the number of sides, we have to classify the polygons. So as I showed in the table here, classification. In that number of the sides, name of that polygon, and how the figure look like, that we are going to see about it. This you are familiar with it. The number 3 and number 4. With number of sides 3, then it is known as triangle, which look like this one. The quadrilateral is the polygon having 4 sides. And we know, and we also already learned about the other types of quadrilaterals like rectangle and square, rhombus and parallelogram and trapezium, etc. Then if you go forward, if there are 5 sides, so the polygon having 5 sides is known as pentagon. Penta means 5. Pentagon means having 5 sides. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this type of polygon is known as pentagon. Then 6. If the number of sides are 6, then that is known as hexagon. Hexagon like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then the polygon having 7 sides is known as heptagon. So here you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 sides. So that is known as heptagon. And then 8 sides. So the polygon having 8 sides is known as octagon. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 sides. It is known as octagon. And it is still not gonna stop here. It's going on and on and on. Like 9 sides, then nonagon, 10 sides, then decagon, and so on. So these are the different types of polygon according to the number of sides. We learn about this too, but these are the others also. Now, if you look around now, in your house or outside, you will see different types of polygons. For example, your windows, doors, then the other things like that's shown in your picture also here. The triangles and the other things here. Here are the hexagons, etc. So now hexagon, maybe you have seen the honeycomb, in which also there all hexagonal are there. Similarly in the drawing also, sometimes your drawing teacher will tell you to draw the hexagon and then in that the designs. So in the windows, doors, notebooks, books, floor, the tiles, etc. In all you will find the different type of polygons. So here we are going to finish today's session. Will be followed by a PDF file. And any confusion, please write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.